We'll just go back to that intro. Beautiful music you're playing there, Dave.
Hello.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Splash TV for Thursday, the 12th of September. Hello, Dave. How are
Hello, man, Moose.
you? Welcome to another episode. We've been away the last couple of weeks doing just little things here and there. I'm completely missing some weeks, and it's partially because we were really busy.
Yeah, we did do a little quick one at Shepparton
We did,
over the
and
kitchen table, something different. We were eating while we were doing it.
were we?
Yeah,
Oh, very civilized of us.
probably. And then last week, I don't know what happened. Just
Last Thursday,
life just gets in the way.
we were somewhere doing something. Something happened. Can't remember.
Did we go to Yoringa? No, we
No,
went
that
to
was
Yoringa last
Tuesday.
week. That was Tuesday. That was good,
No
wasn't it?
spoilers.
No, all spoilers.
Anyway, so welcome to Splash TV. If you don't know what we do here,
We splash.
we pretty much present a small internet-based TV show that features everything to do with boating and fishing and what's been making kind of news in our world, which is boating and fishing in the last week. So what's making a splash, let's say? We're here coming live on YouTube because we usually broadcast on Facebook, but for whatever reason, you can't.
Our system won't connect through. When we do the good system, that means we can run videos and put your videos or your jokes or whatever you want up. For some reason, we can't link into Facebook. It just keeps denying us.
That's true, but that's okay. Pardon me. So for those of us joining us via YouTube, hey, thanks very much for actually making the change. Now, Dave, even though we're not on Facebook tonight, every week we've tried to sort of bring a bit of Facebook love, not that the guy needs it, he's got plenty of money, to our TV show and feature a Facebook group.
Yeah, well, I think the people that watch this show probably all, what do you call it?
They dabble in the socials.
Dabble, yeah. So they all watch certain,
Social warriors.
yeah, all Facebook things. Like Paul Westling was at the name dropper Dave, but I don't even know the bloke, but that's not the reason. He was at the 4x4 doing talks. And what he was talking about, which was really, really interesting, was that in the old days, you'd find out on club night what was happening, or you'd listen to Rex on Friday night.
Yeah.
And the reports would be 10 days old.
Yeah, that's right.
Now on Facebook, you're fishing North Port Phillip, and someone goes, just caught a fish, and if they're nice, they might say where it was. You're getting instantaneous fishing reports.
So even now, like, internet became a thing, cool. I suppose the quickest uptake of live information would have been weather. People all of a sudden checking the weather.
Oh, yeah. Imagine how many weather things there is now.
So now not only are we getting the weather, which is very important to your fishing, but we're getting where the fish actually are, who's catching them, what they're catching them on. You can even be watching them doing it live, like you're doing right now. So with that, we're going to show this week's Facebook page, Dave.
Yeah, so we look at a Facebook page every week.
And this week is the Melbourne Junior Fishing Fanatics page. I have never heard of this group until this afternoon, Dave.
So I knew one of the dads through Splash TV.
Oh, right.
He's one of the guys that watches, Reese. And it's his son and a couple of other young guys that are all under 18 have put this page together for the kids, basically.
The young people.
For the young people. And they're taking it fairly seriously. They've got themselves some sponsors. They had a squid tournament. They borrowed a marquee. I was going to put the hand up, but I thought, don't know, we'll see. But they they grabbed a marquee, they went down and they put a squid comp on down at Flinders Pier. And they had best squid or biggest bag, and they had some prizes. And
this is all young fellas. These are all people under the age
they're
of
all 15. They're like 15, 14, 15, 16.
Because you remember too, like it's been within the last 10 years, we've seen a few youngsters who obviously are social media natives.
They understand it,
Yeah, all of a sudden become and use this social media platform to really amp up, well, I don't want to say their status, but their fishing, and they're fishing with their mates. To quite a really nice community sort of thing. Imagine this 20 years ago. No one would have turned up.
Well, that's the point. Look, it's like you can have your fishing club now and you don't have to pay rent. You just do it all over the social thing.
Yeah.
No rent, no fees. Turn up, it's $20 on the day. I'll get a cup made up with some scratching on it saying best squid of the such and such. Bring you $20, we'll have a barbecue and we'll do what we need to do.
So have you spoken to these kids before?
I talked to, there's young Billy Edwards, he and his father came in years ago to the shop, and I set them up. They just said, right, we want whiting gear, and we want snapper gear, and we want gummy gear. And they were cool about the price and all that, so we just did what we needed to do, and I set them up with some Akuma gear, and I actually gave them some. We were up through an old friend, Mr. Shep. We were actually doing a really good deal, and we set these two guys, father and son, up and got them straight away with whiting trout gear, snapper gummy gear, and away they went. And they've stayed in contact through Facebook and that. And
so would you say that these guys have did they start it because they saw a need to have a young people only group?
I don't know. They just did it because they can do it.
Yeah, which is cool.
And if it works, it works. So there's young Billy. He's got his own face page as well called Billy Goes Fishing or something. And he's got the nous. He's walked into Rye or Rosebud Complete Angler since the changeover, the new operator. And that guy's given him a hand up, so a little bit of sponsorship, and so he's doing some mentioning for what's going on down there. Then you've got Lockie.
Yep.
I mean, Lockie's he's crazy, that kid.
He's everywhere.
His father drops him off with the boat and off he goes. And I tagged you in his videos.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now he's doing drone work. The kid hasn't got a license, but...
So for anyone out there who might be thinking about their kids, or they are kids watching, why would we have kids watching us? Weird.
I can trust you, Mr. Old Edwards, and they'll be watching probably. But yeah, I can look. If you want a site that you can feel comfortable that the kids are watching, that's run by kids, and it is about fishing, and there's no old peds or whatever on the sidelines. Yeah, this Melbourne Junior Fishing Fanatics is pretty good.
So there you go, check it out. It's Melbourne Junior Fishing Fanatics. Can't miss it.
And look, and a lot of the pictures are the kids catching carp.
Yeah.
Whatever. It's what the kids are catching.
We've done a lot of talk nights at fishing clubs. I've lost count. I'd say we're up to about 30 or 20.
Yeah,
20 to
over the
30.
last 7 years or something. Yeah.
And other than when you see a couple of young kids who are dragged along by their parents, I don't think I've really seen young people there who have like come by themselves. Maybe like one or two. I don't actually remember.
How interesting would it be if a couple of dads had the scout hall, just monitored it, made sure the bills were paid and everything, but the kids ran it themselves?
I reckon it'd be brilliant.
That'd be
Well,
awesome.
that's probably what that is. That's what that is.
Yeah.
And kids would do that.
Yeah, I know. I think it's okay. But Riss, he does all the running around because the kids ain't got cars. So Riss is running around all over the place, picking up prizes and doing what he needs to do. Here's one. That's my mate Peter Green.
Yeah.
His son's been fishing with him, but went in that end where the first fish he caught was a 30-kilo tuna.
Bloody
Come in,
hell.
no problem. Snapper, out on the marlin, out on the kings. And he's just been spoilt, and he's not really into it. His daughter looks like that's going to be his little mate.
Oh,
She's about
gonna take
8 or
it
9,
up. Yeah.
and she can stand in the boat for hours and catch nothing.
So she's
And
going.
he's going, I think she's going to be my little mate.
That's cool. Like,
So, yeah, that's like when I was in Waverley Anglers, there was a guy, Chris Stone, and his daughter fished with him. And Belinda used to win all the comps all over Victoria because she was the only junior female.
so by default,
If she
you win.
entered, she won. Yeah. But she was a really good fisherman, and until she found boys at 17 or 16 or 17, she fished with her father all the time.
Well, speaking of clubs, Dave, we did go down to Yoringa.
What a club!
Great club. This is the Yoringa Fishing Club based out of Yoringa Marina.
Yep.
Andrew, the president, just there, and our good mate Dean from Rigmaster Tackle are both kind enough to organise us to get down and do a talk with
How
you.
good were these prizes?
Yeah. So Andrew, the club president, is a pro butcher.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
has a couple of stores. And so the raffle prizes were pretty well done. Look
Look
at
at
that
the
one.
size of that. That's a steak. That's
Yeah.
a big Wagyu steak. Yeah.
So goodness, what that would be worth. A few bucks there. There we are. So yeah, we went along. We did a presentation that we do, which is all about how to use and understand your fish finder and sonar better. We've done it a few times now. This club I thought was quite cool. What I liked about this club is they're based out of a marina, and I would definitely say that Yoringa Marina is probably the biggest fishing orientated marina in Melbourne. Like,
Yeah, you've got your yachties,
well, not many. It's only
but
handful.
yeah, it's only a handful.
maybe 100, if that.
It's not huge though. Have you been down on the water and had a look at the boats that are there?
Not many.
Their on land storage is huge.
Yeah,
So
and it's cost effective as a result.
yeah, and yeah, I was there. I used to be there with my tinny a long time ago. I didn't have a car for certain reasons.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just used to make it easy to pop down there and with a mate and the boat's already in the water ready to go.
So would you suggest for those who have lost their licenses, maybe that's an alternative?
It is.
They should do a DUI special.
DUI special.
A BYO DUI.
The best. One of the things about the club is you don't have to be a member of the Yoringa Harbour.
Well, you're right.
You just can join the club as a club member.
A couple of people that I've gone out recently and done tuition with, both of them aren't members.
Yeah, that's right. I was talking to them. It's about half. Those that were with the Yoringa Harbour and those who weren't.
So that was good.
Has anyone been down to Yoringa Harbour? It's the restaurant down there is beautiful.
And apparently they're having a really big renovation. Well,
Yeah, it's on the sign as you go down the road.
$100 million upgrade.
They want to build Patterson Lake.
Yeah,
there.
canals and everything. So I don't
If
know how
they
I feel
get
about
that through the greenies, I don't know how they will, but
Yeah.
yeah, it'll be huge. It'll be absolutely.
It really, even if it didn't get that whole upgrade, Yoringa could do with some money. It's a lovely club, but you can, when you walk in, you go just a few bucks spent here and there, and the place would be humming. I
Yeah,
reckon.
I mean the meal they put on again, being a butcher, was
Pretty
roast.
full on.
It was huge fry pans of roast beef and gravy, salads, roast vegetables, just everything.
And this was just a little club, not even
Yeah,
a massive
like
club.
there would have been 30.
Oh,
maybe?
well, they told me that they had seating for 40 in there.
Okay,
And so
there was 40
everyone
then.
was sitting
Yeah,
in.
so there was 40. Yeah.
So Well, I've been to a lot of bigger clubs, and I don't want to like poo-poo any bigger clubs. Everyone's great, but I've been to a lot of bigger clubs. But you might get 5-6 people. So
there's some good anglers in the club as well. Rigmaster Dean, he's pretty good at some of the snapper he's been catching lately. But you've got one. I won't mention him by name because he might not be wanting to be mentioned. But #1 Brim Classic fisherman for a long time. And another one is the charter boat owner that's been there for 20 years.
Who's that?
I think it's Warwick. I didn't want to say because I used to be quite close to him, and then the charter boat's got a big black bum on it. It's all painted black, and I can't think who they are, but he runs out of Yoringa on the charter. So the charter bloke guy is part of the club as well. So they do weigh-ins. There's nothing special. They've just got a camera with the scales. You put it on the scales, it takes a photo, and you enter that, and they have their monthly prizes, and they have species prizes and whatever. Yeah.
So it's been a little while since we've done one of these shows, and since then we've had 2 episodes of our Fish of the Day being released from our good friends over at Kiwiland. So I think we're going to take a little bit of a break, play episode 1 and 2 back to back.
Very nice.
Great Barrier Island is New Zealand's 4th largest island and sits with its west coast facing the Hauraki Gulf and the east coast facing the open Pacific Ocean. Now, no great voyage at sea is complete without some fine dining, so I've brought along this guy, Chef Anthony McNamara. It's not the only reason I brought you. It's the only reason I brought him. So our plan is to eat fish, in sort of that order here in one of the country's best seafood supermarkets. This is Great Barrier Island, where we're going to attempt to track down some redfish. There are so many options we could explore, but Anthony's keen to start his culinary tour with shellfish. So we thought we'd stop here, this bay, see if we can find some scallops, which are kind of red. It's a good excuse to have a look anyway. Slipping over the side of a boat in a location you've never explored is always exciting. What will we find? And bingo. There's my target. And they're everywhere. This shouldn't take too long at all. In fact, every dive, there's 5 or 6 right in front of me. Back to the surface for another breath and unload my catch. And it's back down on my treasure hunt. Good fun. There's lots of other shells around too, so I can't help but have a dig around. And sure enough, in the sand under the scallops are giant clams. What a bonus. And they're red. Have a look at that. That was one little productive dive. So we went down to get some scallops because we figured, you know, why not? Red enough, but look at these. This is cool.
What are these, some sort of surf clam?
Yeah, now I've never tried them before, but I understand they're pretty good. So what do you reckon, Chef? Can we work with these?
I reckon we can.
Day 2, here we go. You up, Ants?
Yep.
Now, yesterday, the seafood supermarket delivered our shellfish. Today, we're hoping Great Barrier will deliver up our red finfish, at least a couple of species. For this, we're headed to the northern end of the island, where hopefully we'll find a couple of scorpions. The fishy version, that is. Get that going, mate.
Right.
See what little red delights are down there. And we don't have to wait long. Oh, yeah? It's not very big. Is this the colour we're after? Here it comes. What have we got? Snapper! Little panny. All right. How you going, Eds?
That's something myself.
It's amazing the way that snapper can transform their colours depending on where they are. So when they're out and open and over the sand, they often go quite light in colour, but when they move in around the rocks and weed, they go really dark to sort of camouflage and blend in. Lucky day, buddy. Back you go. Oh, is this what we've been looking for? Yes! A granddaddy harpooker or scorpion fish. These are crazy little predators. You hardly see them when you're diving down deep. They sit right hard up against the rock and blend right in. But believe it or not, these are fantastic eating. Oh, you've got another one. Oh, look, and I've got his cousin. This is another colourful little red fish. Now, these are actually different, believe it or not. We call this sort of a lot of people call this a Jock Stewart. I think it's a type of banded perch. And there you've got the real deal there, mate. That is the scorpion fish.
Look at that.
Right colour.
Oh, well. What did we learn from that, Dave?
These guys are going to get stung badly.
Oh my God, they're going to get a hospital.
I wonder if they're the same, like they look the same species. I wonder if they're poison like ours.
I don't know. I think it would be.
He was trying to stay away from the spikes underneath, but yeah, I don't know.
Those snapper look identical to what we get here.
Yeah.
So,
But those, I mean, we catch, at Narooma we catch what they call flower pots, which is a scorpion fish. We catch them for market. You get
Really?
better money for those than you do for kingfish.
where do they sell them?
Sydney market.
Really?
Yeah, so they knock all the spines and everything off with kitchen scissors.
Yeah.
Chicken, chicken shears.
Who do they sell them to?
I don't know, mostly to markets, to shops. It's branded as poor man's lobster.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
so if you cook it a certain way, it comes up quite nice.
Have you ever been to New Zealand?
I want to retire in New Zealand.
I think New Zealand is the place for us, Dave.
I want to be, because I'm called Dave and I'll fit in well. Dave
You will.
from Wakatane.
People say, how long have you been here for, Dave? Oh, since ever been. A long time. That's been Aboriginal.
What tribe are you? Wakatane, Marioke, Wahadene.
There's a lot of talk about boat ramps, Dave.
I'm enraged.
I don't want to get into the boat ramp thing. We're not going to get into the boat ramp thing.
One thing I'll say, and the only thing I'll say is, Bear Willis and Paul Carter,
Oh.
you've done the footwork. That's all. You've done the footwork.
Yep.
You're passionate about it. I'm eventually, if it all goes through, I'll just be one of those guys. What do they say? Do you want to help make the bread? No, said the little chicken. Do you want to eat the bread? Yes, yes, yes. And they said, no, nick off. Kids book. So yeah, I know that eventually, if it goes through, I'll be one that gets the advantage of being able to use it, and I wasn't
We all will.
doing the footwork. But I hope that thank you, Bear. Thanks, Paul Carter. The guys the guys that put the footwork in. I am not a certain voter, and I'll see what happens in the polls. What happens.
Well,
I'd swing my vote.
yeah,
I'm not a one-issue voter, unfortunately.
a bit more global.
So what I need to do is then I need to approach my councillors or whatever it is and say, will you follow through to win my vote?
And they'll say no.
Yeah.
Because who the hell are you?
Because it's very hard.
Get off my doorstep.
I don't want to cause controversy. I can't... how do I vote on one issue when there's many issues? But yeah, that doesn't
And there's a lot of really good issues too. Like we're not saying this is not a good issue, but
no, that's right. Yeah.
we can't necessarily always put one thing in front of other good things as well.
We'll help you with ramps, but we'll knock your your land tax up
Yeah.
by 100 million %, whatever. Yeah.
So, but there's some funny stuff that happens at boat ramps, Dave. And I saw this video floating around Facebook. I'll just turn it down a little bit. This is this poor bloke. I got it because I was talking to a bloke about Boat Catch.
Oh yeah, yep.
And we all know and love Boat Catch. They're a brilliant product. And I don't know how, but I must have like Googled something to do with boat ramp fails or whatever. Or your Facebook, sorry, and this video popped up. This poor bugger who is in desperate need of a boat catch. He's in desperate need of actually bringing his trailer out of the water a little bit.
I can't see the trailer. Yeah.
I mean, he's having a real good go at it. So that's like a
like a
26
Robalo
foot. That's 4 winds, that one.
4 winds. Yeah.
But like, have a look at his truck. The truck's already like lifted, right? And the back wheels are nearly under the water. So you guys to show how the trailer would be nowhere near the boat. It'd be underneath you down there. There he goes, bump.
Nope, that didn't work.
No, it'll go back for another
We're coming
try.
from another direction.
But what I feel really bad in these situations, apparently the guy filming was offering advice. And the guy wasn't taking it, so that's when he started to film.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like, okay, well, I'm going to make you a laughing stock on the internet because you don't listen to me.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, but at least it's entertaining.
Oh, we get to watch it.
We do. What I feel really bad for is these people in the back of the boat. I think there's like 2 or 3. You know the guy driving is saying, no, I've got this, just shut up, I've got this. But
Frank, why don't you listen to the bloke behind us?
just shut up, I've got this. So I feel sorry for them because it must be very embarrassing. But he goes for another attempt. Let's see how he goes. He's coming in from like a really good run up. And I can't tell if he's too far away from it or...
But what are they going to do anyway? There's nobody to put the boat on the...
Yeah, but that's a good point, because if someone was there helping out, you'd think that they'd be on the back of the car. Fine, look at him go. He's all over there
just
now.
Took a big chunk of
He's not a
fiberglass out there.
Maybe someone's in the car, but because they're like a mile off the ground and the ground is water, it's probably not the smartest thing anyway. Some people come and give him a hand. Now I'm not going to play the rest of this, Dave, because it goes for another 6 minutes.
Oh no!
This poor bugger. Oh, there he goes in the back of the. Oh, don't hit the car. Oh, he did hit the car.
Imagine this: 10 o'clock in the morning, 30 degrees, Carrum.
Oh yeah, sun beaming on you.
Just before
Everyone's
Christmas.
lined up. Jet
They all
skis
wanna-
are hooning at you.
They all want to get off the river and out of the sun. Yeah.
The worst experience I've ever had at a boat ramp was New Year's Day, or like New Year's Eve, but like the early hours of. The year I purchased my Polycraft, I think it was 2014.
That's why I
And
took the girls out.
yeah, I went out in my boat, and then a pontoon boat came out as well. We all went down to Yarra's Edge in the city to watch the fireworks,
Yep.
as did every single other person with a boat on this half of the Melbourne hemisphere. Which you don't care at the time, because you're watching the fireworks, having a good time. There's boats everywhere, but then eventually you've got to go home, and that means you got to take your boat out. And we launched at Williamstown, so we drove to Williamstown. That's okay. Get there, my engine only has forward gear and off. I have no neutral or reverse.
Serious?
Yep. Not on top of that, there wasn't enough steering fluid in my hydraulic steering, so I had
Another
like,
fine job.
maybe
though.
maybe like a turn and a half each direction before anything happened.
Yeah.
So it was a case of line it up, turn it on because then it'll be in gear,
Yeah.
then turn the engine off, and then drift, turn a little bit. But it wasn't too bad because we had this Polycraft. We just bumped it into the sort of beach because every single person on the planet was trying to get their boat out of a 2-ramp launchway and a jetty that only holds maybe 6 or 7 boats.
Yeah.
And there would have been over 150 boats. We didn't get out, and we got there at 1. We didn't get out till 3 in the morning.
One of my worst was Morty Alec,
Yeah,
Cup Day.
I thought we were good.
Don't go fishing Cup Day. 30-something degrees Cup Day. Come back in, and the closest I could get to the boat ramp coming from the bay was the first bridge, not the second bridge. The first,
Where were you saying? Morty Alec?
Morty Alec Creek. So I could
Oh,
only get
you
to
up
the
there.
first bridge.
Bloody
And
hell.
that's where everybody was parked on the sides of the river,
Yeah.
waiting for their turns to put their boats back
So you had
on.
to go there, then go down to get your car, or did you just shuffle down?
Yeah, in the end we got as far as where the gum trees are, and my mate jumped in the water and climbed up the trees. But it didn't matter because all the cars were in line anyway.
Yeah.
So then we get round the corner, and there's this old bloke standing, because the ramp's either in or out. There's an old guy standing on the ramp, not letting anyone use the launch.
Oh, really?
Just making sure they only use a retrieve.
Oh.
How he hadn't got belted, I don't know.
Bloody
but
hell.
then this guy went off his rocker and just carried the guy off the ramp.
No
and all
way.
of a sudden both ramps are working. And
See, that makes sense. That's how.
but that
boats
was nearly 2 hours wait to get on.
work. So I wonder how poor this guy goes. Now, speaking of a lot of boats,
And just quick, one we did, Waverley Anglers, we went to McLaughlin's.
Huh?
And same thing, there was boats everywhere, and the wind was coming up, and everybody came in at the same time. And we actually stripped off, jumped in the water, and got everybody's, not ours, everybody else as well.
Yeah.
Got all the boats on the trailer so everybody could just get moving.
Yeah.
We actually got a letter from the Shire about 3 months later thanking us for community service.
nice one.
And people go, why'd you do it? We said, because we wanted our boats off the...
Yeah, I was waiting for
Move
it.
everybody. Because they're standing there trying to rope it, just pants off.
It's like
straight
people
into the
like, you
water.
know, sometimes you got to go around a boat because this one might not be ready to come out. It might have a problem. They might not know where the driver is, whatever. We had that too. We had to go around a boat to go in front of him, which means generally you need their help to help, you know, push it along, to bump it. And the people in the boat were like, don't you dare touch our boat. And it's like, well, we don't intend to. Can you give us a hand? Like, we're not going fast. We're just doing it by ropes.
Yeah. So just push us
Push
as
it as it goes along.
Yeah.
I don't want to touch your boat. You might break my fingers with. Oh god, too much of the good stuff. But I want to show you a little clip that I found. This is it's called Lake of the Ozark Shootout. It's a big poker run and like speed event. Basically, it's this massive lake in America where people of all different classes of boats go to see how fast they can go. Like I got a pontoon boat. Let's see
So
how
where's the
fast.
Ozarks?
Middle west of America.
I remember a band called Ozark White Mountain Devil Devils.
After seeing that, I don't feel so bad about
Waiting in ramps.
waiting at ramps because that one would just be a nightmare, I reckon.
All right, well, how about I jump on quickly and have a look for... Please excuse me while I put my glasses on, but I'm over 40 and I can't see anything. From Sean at... None of the guys could talk to us tonight. They've all got things to do. One of them's... Sean!
There we go. We got sound again. Fire away.
Okay, Sean reports from Carrum. Garfish are still in good numbers on the shallow weed beds from Seaford through to Mornington. Squid have been a little slow, but you will get your bag with a few moves. The best area has been around Sunnyside. He has seen a few snapper come in from the last week. They've been coming from Mordialloc Deep, Black Rock Deep and Mornington Deep. There's good numbers of pinkies in the Beaumaris Bay at about 9 metres, and your typical drop-offs at Blackrock 6 to 8 metres. This week in the river at Carib, and I was actually down there a couple of hours ago watching the kids fish. There's been some good catches of bream in the paddo, and also those salmon and mullet that have been there for a couple of weeks are still going. They tend to bite best around the tide change. So thank you from
Shawnee?
From Shrekky. Is it Shrekky? No,
So-
it's from Sean.
So from that report, what do you take, and where would you be fishing this weekend?
Depends what you want to catch. I wouldn't bother with the snapper yet. You're only chasing to look good. You're going to spend a lot of fuel trying to chase.
I've got a snapper
fish.
report.
Have you?
Yes. Holy moly! I went.
Ding, 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 ding,
So,
ding,
news
ding,
break.
ding, ding. News break.
I went out on. I don't even know what day it is. Must have been Tuesday. I don't know. Saturday. It was Saturday. I went out of Hastings on Saturday morning with a gentleman from the Uringa Club. We tuned out his sonar, and we went north of the gasworks. We were at 9 metres, and we're drifting from 9 to 13 metres. It's a gradual slope. From 9 inwards to the land, heaps of people going for squid. It was like squid bonanza. From the 9 metres down, massive, massive Christmas trees.
No, cool. All
Problem? It's too cold. Still too cold.
Yeah.
It was 13 degrees.
Yeah, so if people don't know, the snapper that'll go in Western Port or Port Phillip at the moment, the bites half the time will be like flathead bites. And you're better off running, instead of circle hooks, running sea point or suicide hooks, something that you can strike the fish when they're having that bit of a bite,
Yeah.
because they won't tend to pick it up and run.
They're just nibbling. Is that because they're too cold? Yeah.
Cold water does it to them. I don't know why.
So when it gets warmer, I'm going to head back to that place. I marked a few spots. There was some structure down there. I don't know what's down there, but there's some structure there. And I'm going to check it out.
Cool.
I'm guaranteeing myself 3 fish this season.
You know the area we sounded last year? Up and down, up and down, and up
Yeah.
and down. That's the Long Reef. I sounded that the other day. I was with a mate of mine squid fishing, and there's some reasonable fish on the Long Reef at the moment.
Well, I reckon a good place I want to spend a bit of time doing from the Uringa Channel south to that gasworks on the left-hand side of the channel, because that's where Dean got his. That's where the other bloke from the club got his, and it's where I saw that fish. I reckon
Well,
that's going to be.
you know Sam that came in today.
Yeah.
He does all right on the whiting. The whiting's reasonable as you just
Shout out to Sam.
get to the middle spit, work that edge. You know, he does all right. He's not, he's just new in the game. And he was talking about where he comes out of Stony Point. Do I turn left or do I turn right? And it's this report stuff. I've heard they're there. I heard
Well, they move.
Johnny Shoes, the old boy, the Flying Dutchman, really helped me out a few years ago. And one of his sayings was, learn 10% of the bay, 100%, not 100% of the bay, 10%. So he said, this year, this is how he used to do it for years and years. This year, I'm going to work this section to this section, and I'm going to know everything that can happen in that section. So Sam said, well, what should I do? And that's what I gave him. I gave him from the Uringa Channel to Lysarts, and I said, just fish that, and you'll pull it. You've got Lysarts, Esso, Tyab, Quail, Eagle Rock. You're going to catch more. There's more snapper in that area.
Would you go further north of Uringa to Turadin or
No, I'd call that another section.
Turadin, Warney?
It's different fishing.
Okay.
It's either really, really deep, or it's
Is that more mud up that end?
more mud.
Okay.
So that Long Reef area and Esso and all that, the reef is it's full of kunji.
Yeah. Okay. So
And if you find the fish when you catch the fish there, they'll always be full of crabs.
there you go. Hot tip from everybody.
Very quickly, and that is Al, who had to go to a meeting tonight. Al's report was not much gummy action up the top end of Western Port. They seem to be down the bottom. The snapper bite this last week has been Bolton's and Butcher Channel, so right up the top, and behind Joe's Island, which is always this time of year.
Mud warms up.
The mud warms water up, you get 1.5 degrees, 2 degrees higher temperature. I reckon this time of year, nighttime bite will be better, except for the lice. That's the problem.
Yeah, it will get pretty hairy there, wouldn't it?
Quail bank's been really good for squid.
Yeah.
And don't be scared to get right up in the shallows, into like a metre of water. Also on the quail bank has been some really big garfish.
Oh, right.
Other than that, there's lots of cold water things around, slimies, cooter. There's plenty of bait to catch. But either ring Sean down at Carrum or ring Al at One Eight Bait and Tackle, and they'll give you an honest report.
So all this talk about fishing, Dave, has made me nervous. I don't know anything about fishing. What I do know about is big ass boats. And one of my favourite boating companies, which is on a real comeback, has just launched their new 61 footer. So I know a lot of our audience.
We can all put it together.
They're all
61 footer.
We could all put it together and buy a picture of it.
I put a picture of a 61 footer. Yeah,
So Bertram, you know Bertram Boats?
I should do.
So Bertram Boats, herald from way back, and from Dick Bertram, and old Dickie Bertram.
Dickie Bertram.
And during the GFC, they had a tough time and were sold to a new owner. And the new owner has gone and revitalised it. A few weeks ago, we showed a video of their new 35er, and they're all going with a somewhat classic look. So this is the new 61 footer, Dave. David, I will have one in dark blue, please.
Okay, cool.
I'm
You
not,
didn't get your Taslotta ticket.
I'm not greedy. I just want the one. See, I figure other people should be able to enjoy it too. So that's the new Bertram 61
If
footer.
you save up your money and be a very, very good boy,
Yep.
you still won't get one.
Yeah, I know, right? So that
What would it be worth?
2.5.
That's all right.
It's up there.
Hey, Moods, we need a boat.
So, what's cool, what I like about it is that they're following a similar American tradition of super clean lines. There's no bow rails, no davits in the front. It's all sleek. Yeah, they're all extremely fast because in America, it's not about just catching the fish. It's the time that you catch it in and the time that you get back. So they want to get to the grounds real quick, catch a fish, and get back. Because if you have the quickest,
Look at their in the small boating for them. Small. Look at the Bermudas. Everything.
And it's like we have to get this 61 footer to 40 knots so we can get there. And you think, I hate to think what the feel would be. So that's the new Bertram 61 footer. I need to show you something funny, Dave.
Does your cat get tequila?
Nice memory, good memory. No,
Mamá, ha enganchado el francés. Y lo ha destrozado, ¿eh?
Just go after yachts, the guy was saying.
Nos hemos salvado de milagro.
He's targeting that one.
Qué fuerte, pero igual puede venir, ¿eh? Estoy flipando.
Probably real little, isn't it? What we're calling in Australia, Willy Willies.
Willy Willies. Yeah, it's a wet Willy Willy.
It's a hurricane. It's very big and it's very wet.
What I reckon would be really funny is if it gets here, but then like stops just before it gets to your boat. I paid my godfather. There you go, I think it's dissipated. Oh, that's still going. There you go. I've never seen one before. Oh, look, there's people on the boat.
What the hell?
Imagine a cleaner.
¡Hala, hala,
¡Ay,
hala!
ay, 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 ay!
Mamá,
Ha enganchado el francés.
sí, lo ha destrozado,
So that's a bit of weather for you there.
Bet you don't see that on Sea Weather or whatever. Was it Willy Weather?
Willy weather.
Occasional tornadoes wiping yachts out.
We have a little bit of competition news to do, Dave, and then we'll be wrapping it up. So, do you have anything that you have done this week that's interesting you want to tell people about?
I got things that I've done that are easy, but I don't want to tell people about.
What about next week? Anything happening next week?
I'm hoping that the weather will do the right thing, and Sunday will be a good day on the water.
Now, today was amazing.
Yeah, look, there should have been some good fish caught today, I'd say.
I haven't checked yet.
And tonight, actually, there's a good tide tonight. Finishes about 9:30 at night. If I had to be on the water tonight,
You reckon?
oh yeah, yeah, they'll go well tonight.
2 nights ago was very balmy. You can sort of feel things are changing. Competition time, everybody. We're still running our fusion competition because we were meant to draw it a few weeks ago, but we forgot.
Did we ever get around? We did get around to apologising to the
Yep.
to the viewers about the Painesville one.
Yeah, something came out of our with those watching the Painesville one. Something happened out of our control. Nothing major. Well, yeah,
But the family that owns it, and out of respect for the family, we just drop everything
Yep.
and
So
let them look after what they need to do.
So we will go back to that. Definitely. Just we're giving it some time. But in the meantime, we can win this amazing.
This is El Primo.
This is the Fusion sound panel stereo. You may have seen it before because we've advertised it for about 2 months now. Basically, this is an awesome all-in-one solution if you want to mount something into your boat or caravan or wherever, and you don't have to worry about running speakers because it is a speaker. It's also the head unit. So AM, FM, USB, auxiliary in, Bluetooth. It's got two 3.5-inch drivers. It's about 200 watt. Sounds great, looks good, and it's worth about $450. To win this, Dave, they've got to go to the Moose Marine Facebook page. At the very top, you'll see the competition deets, and all you need to do is hit a like, and we use that so we know which ones enter the competition, and tag a friend. And you got to tag a friend because if you win and you haven't tagged a friend,
oh my God! Guess who's back? Frank D'Angeles.
he must be he must still be overseas in Italy.
What is he? Is he?
Hey.
Oh my
Hello,
God.
Frankie. Buongiorno.
Can you speak English over there, brother? Yes, yes.
Frankie, come back.
Frankie, come back, mate. We have a little bit of work for you.
So that's the competition anyway. Go along to the Facebook page, hit the like, tag a mate, and this could be yours. And we will draw it next week, Dave.
We will?
100%. Because I also think that next week we're going live. Well, we're live now, I suppose. But live on site.
Oh no, where are we going? Can't tell me.
No, we're going to the fish and chip shop.
We are finally!
Yep, they opened up about a week and a half ago.
Yep.
And a week and a half ago, we'll know good to do it. So we're going to do it next week.
Awesome.
So that's about it from all of us, I reckon. Dave, anything else?
Nah.
So we'll just go back to this. So from all of us here at Splash TV and Moose Marine, a massive... Oh, wait, no, there was... Sorry, one more thing. Sorry, Dave.
Oh, there will be one other thing. As it gets warmer and the fish get better and all the rest of it, Dave, I'm not a charter. It's just me. If you wish to help out paying the petrol, throw in the money for the petrol or whatever, I'm just saying that I'm not trying to make money out of this and I'm not trying to do anything. I am just offering to take people who don't have a boat, if they're viewing us on this show and they get onto me on the live Facebook, I am happy to take people fishing that don't get a chance to go fishing, just because I like taking people fishing. I like people catching their first fish. I've taken Jess, haven't we, Jess? Me and Jess and Yolanda, we had fun. And I took Mr. Napa and his daughter. That was cool. So, you know, as it warms up, we'll try and invite, especially dads and kids, mums and kids, that sort of thing. People that never get to go out. So that'll just be for a bit of fun. We might film it and put it on the show.
So I just remember I did have one more thing to show, but I won't show it because we've already kind of done the closing, so I'll leave it for next week.
What do you want to do?
Just forgot to put something up, but I'll save it for next week.
Save it.
So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Safe weekend. Paul's coming up soon on the live well, everyone back on the Facebooks. So tune into him.
G'day, Paul.
That's at 8:30, I believe. And we're going to be back next week. Until then, happy boating, happy fishing, stay safe in the water.
Enjoy, guys.
I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.